to the distinguished representative of Israel.
Thank you, Mr. President. Next to me sits Mia Shem. For 50 days, Mia endured an unimaginable hell as a hostage in Gaza after she was kidnapped from the Nova Music Festival. She witnessed and experienced atrocities that had not been seen since the Holocaust. Yet, in those 50 days and ever since, the UN has failed to call a single session dedicated to the hostages. Not once have any of its major organs found the moral courage to condemn Hamas and demand the hostages' release. Right now, as we speak, 101 hostages remain in that nightmare. But today's discussion is not about them, is not about Mia. No, we are debating UNRWA, an organization which fosters the very terrorism that tormented Mia. UNRWA may be defined by a single word: failure. A failure, both professional and moral. Since its founding, UNRWA has spent tens of billions of dollars. Yet I challenge any of you to find any meaningful, lasting accomplishments. Instead, UNRWA has used its funding to prolong a cycle of terrorism, educating hate for decades. UNRWA is shielded by a misconception in this room that it is the backbone of humanitarian efforts in Gaza. This is simply untrue. Over the past 3 months, UNRWA contributed less than 15% to the humanitarian effort. This idea that UNRWA could not be supplemented is absurd. UNRWA's professional incompetence is only overshadowed by their moral failure. In this mandate, the purpose of UNRWA was very clear when the General Assembly adopted it. It was to provide health, education, and social services. Now show me in this mandate, where does it specify kidnapping civilians? Where does it outline murdering innocents? How about storing weapons for terrorists? What is the connection of these crimes to UNRWA's mandate? We provided the names and Hamas IDs of over 100 UNRWA employees involved in the massacre. We have shown you the pictures of UNRWA employees kidnapping bodies of Israelis. We have exposed many so-called teachers who were actually terrorists, aid workers who were murderers, terrorists collecting UN paychecks. Mr. President, I have often spoken about Gaza's future without Hamas. The same applies to UNRWA. Without UNRWA, cooperation could flourish. Without UNRWA, aid workers could be trusted. Without UNRWA, Gaza's children might learn peace, not hate. It is time to move on and build a new path so the UN can regain its integrity and deliver on its promise to support peace and security. I thank you, Mr. President.